there anything else you want to add that we haven't covered?
Yeah, so I just like to ask people, have people ask why. If the case against me is so substantial, as they always like to say, why are they lying about so much and hiding so much? I think I even asked the clemency board. When I went to the clemency board the last 2 times, and I bring forth all these facts. But my last clemency hearing, the state thought, I believe, my interpretation is they're trying to do a quick kill shot. So they ran to go test one piece of evidence, and I'm almost certain if it would have proven I was wrong, they had to run back in front of the clemency board and say, look, he's lying about this, you can't trust him about none of this other stuff he's saying. And that's regarding those telephone calls that Detective Urbank testified came from Kenmore, which is several towns away, but actually came from that payphone where you take 2 steps to the side of it and you can see in Winda's apartment window. In my last clemency hearing, the state went and finally, got a court order for the records, and AT&T confirmed I'm telling the truth. And yet no one cares. The detective went in, gave false testimony, and yet no one cares. Technically, yeah, it's false testimony, but it's not substantial enough, for any court to give me any kind of new trial or any kind of relief on. But, I just want people to ask why. Why would you, if you have nothing to hide, why would you lie? If, they lied about lifting the detectives testified they fumed the beer bottles, with that super glue to make sure any prints would be there forever. Mm-hmm. And then testified they could not lift no prints. But said again, the police report says they lifted a print off that beer bottle and sent it to BCI for comparison. And again, mysteriously, no testing was done. But when Winda was murdered, I believe she had a alcohol level twice the legal limit. I know it was at least over the legal limit. So someone, so she was sitting there drinking. And if them beer bottles could show who she was sitting there drinking with, why wouldn't they test them? And so my thing is, I just would like people to ask why. Why would you lie? Why would you not want to test the DNA? Why wouldn't you want to test the hairs? And test, all this stuff. And they've deliberately, if you look at the clock that the cord was cut from, they dusted it for prints. And even at trial, you could see prints all over the clock. You know why? Their excuse for why they didn't lift those prints? Mr. Hartman said he didn't touch the clock, so we didn't see any reason to lift the prints off it. You're trying to find a prosecutor's job is to be fact finder. And they chose not to do that. They just wanted to cover their butts. So I ask people, if the case against me is so strong, why lie about so much and why not do the testing?
Okay, do you get a picture of you?